So this is going to be a video on converting my ARS-9512 rack, which I'm for the most part pretty happy with, from a hot side cold side heating element to a full length tub heating element for breeding blood pythons. You might actually be able to just get ARS to build you a rack like this, but I didn't think to ask when I ordered it, which was my fault. But the difference between, so they don't make the 9512 anymore. And I can understand why, because it's huge and unwieldy, and in that regard, I wish I hadn't bought it, and I wish I had bought two of the 9506s. But I have it, and it's not like it's returnable, so that's what we're going to go with. The reason that I chose it in the first place is you can see that these heat pads or the heating element goes all the way from the back to the front. In the 9506, it goes side to side. And since you want to keep blood pythons at an ambient 82, instead of hot cold, I thought that'd be great. But then once I look at the rack, I see that these heat panels on the other side, half of it's nothing, and then underneath the insulation, we got the THG heat tape. Which again, I don't think this is their fault. This is what most reptile keepers would want. I just didn't think to confirm, and so on and so forth. I bet if you asked them, they would make these panels for you full length. These panels will fit in the 9506 rack. And last I checked, even though they don't make the 9512 anymore, they still have the panels. So you can probably order a 9506, request these panels, and request them to run 37 inches of heat tape in each one. And then you'd have the exact same thing that I'm showing you how to set up. But well, I think that's it. So I covered the size. Gonna build it. Oh yeah, how to pull the thing out. So this is Velcro. They're actually really easy to get out. I already unplugged it in the back, and you just shove something in there so it doesn't stick back down, which I will do now. Just difficult to hold the phone and do it at the same time. So I shove something in, make sure the rack's unplugged, go on the back, and the panel just kind of pulls out. And that's it. There should be a couple more videos if I'm going to actually post this. We'll see. All right. So this is the heat panel with the upgraded insulation option from ARS, and what I am doing, well, I'll take it apart so you guys can see it, and this is also how to convert it. Now this stuff here, if I was to use it again, I would have to use it for the entire length of this panel, and I don't particularly like it. The problem with this insulation is it's designed to be used in an air gap where you've got 4 inches of space. So you staple it over 2x4s with air in the middle, and then it's really good. That's where it gets its really high insulation rating. But when it's touching stuff, this Mylar is a little bit conductive. So it's not nearly as good as foam board that has a much lower rating. And I might end up testing or comparing later on, but either way, I don't need to say that because I'm getting rid of it. This is what it looks like inside. You got your little square of the THG heat tape. Everything is duct taped down, and underneath this duct tape is electrical tape. I'd take it off, but it's more of a pain to do than it's worth. So everything's insulated, just like this end is. This end is too, underneath the duct tape. Everything in here is glued down, so you really have to peel it off, and then I've got to go take goop off and remove all of this sticky stuff. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's I assume it's some sort of aerosol that they spray on here, which is fine, but I got to remove it, and then I'm going to tape all the new stuff in. All right, bye. So I got the glue off with goof off. This is actually the nastiest looking one that I have left, but I don't care about getting it all off. It's just, it definitely had a 3D texture. You can kind of see there's a little bit of it up here in areas that don't matter. And I was just pretty sure I didn't want that between my heating element and the panel. But now I got all the other ones done. This is the last one. But what I'm doing is I'm taking a strip of THG heat tape that I got from Reptile Basics, who will actually, they'll cut it to any length you want. Let's see if I can get that to, and they'll pre-crimp it for you. So in this case, you just shove your wire in there and crimp it down. I would have them put the cable on it, but these panels have the cord go through a hole. So if the cable was pre-crimped, I'd have to cut it anyway to get it in there. I already put the electrical tape on this end. And then it comes with these insulators, which are like this. It's a pretty thick, goopy piece of electrical tape that you just fold over the top. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to video while I'm doing all this because it's pretty self-explanatory. Put wire into the crimp, smash it down, put an insulator on top of it, and then I'm going to tape the panel in, and then I'll show you the rest of the process. So this is the panel after I put the full length THG heat tape in. You can see I've used aluminum foil tape to tape it all down. Connect the wires, make sure they're covered up with insulator, and now it's ready to put the insulation in. I've got this foam board. I think it's a 1/2 inch thick. I don't remember. It says on here somewhere. I can't find it. Anyway, the important thing is one side's Mylar. And I've cut them down to fit in here. Just kind of fits in like that. And then I take a couple of pieces of tape to keep it from falling out, and I'm done.